Well, greetings to all my fellow watch and sports enthusiasts on YouTube. It's episode 22 of, pardon me, Wednesday afternoon with SaleenDriver. My normal Wednesday afternoon chat with nobody in the chat right now. So we'll wait. I'm sure. Well, there we go. There's my friend Jason. How you doing, man? No, I did, fat fingers thing. I understand. Don't worry about it. Um, yeah, I saw your comment on that video you left me. That's an older video of my former Doxa collection. That video is way out of date, unfortunately. I sold off all of the watches in that video except for the professional, the orange one, and the Caribbean, the blue one. I just wasn't wearing any of those watches, so I sold them off to fund other purchases. Let's see. Rise Up is here. How you doing? Let's see. Cooper Kyle. Cooper is asked about 42 millimeter swordfish. Elshin actually posted about that. I'm pointing to my calendar here to remind myself. Elshin pointed to that. Posted about that. He actually put a link up in the Facebook Zelos Timekeeper group. If you're a member of that, you can find that link. If you're not, I'll go get the link for you if you want. It's a link to a countdown timer, sort of a universal time converter and countdown timer. Basically, the 42 millimeter titanium swordfish from Zelos will release Thursday for Eastern time, Thursday 1 p.m. on August 27th. So, and you have to adjust your time accordingly depending on where you are in America or where you are in the world. But Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, all the titanium swordfish models except the Damascus one will release. Basically tomorrow, the 27th. The Damascus, I'm told, will be released about 2 weeks later, and I'm buying one of those. And nobody get in my way on that release date. Nobody get between me and this computer. That would be a bad place to be. Let's see. Big Lee's here. How you doing, man? Blue shirt Buddha is here. How are you? Kevin Cook's here. Cowboy Swami's here. Rob F is here. My buddy Tennessee Mike. How you doing, sir? It's a good idea you had, Mike, about making that video that you did. I made a similar one. I'll release that when the big event happens. You know what I'm talking about. So, how is everybody today? What's going on out there in the big bad world? Nothing really going on here. Just shooting a video like I'm supposed to. The usual quick ask fors on the with respect to the video. Please go ahead and click that thumbs up for me. That would be very helpful to me. Doing the thumbs up makes the channel more searchable. Yes, my neck hurts today. I'm sorry. It does make the channel more searchable. It brings more people here. Bobby Legs, how you doing, man? The super chat function is on and available if you are moved in that direction. Obviously not necessary, but always welcome. And tangentially to that, in the description of the video is a link to a PayPal where you can donate via PayPal if you want to take that extra step. Again, not necessary, just mentioning it, and I'll probably mention it one more time during the video, but otherwise, I'm just glad y'all are here. 10 people are here. Hopefully that goes up. Let's see, where did we leave off? Jason says he's researching the Doxa 300T, a viewer request, and you stumbled on my channel. Well, video. Well, I hope that helped you. Hang on a second. Everyone bear with me. I'm going to help my buddy Jason out here with a link, which he may or may not find useful. I have found it useful from time to time. And I'm going to put this link in for you, Jason. That might give you some background on the 300T and Doxa in general for your video. So take that. Take a look at that. Let's see. Alpha Dad's here. No, I haven't heard anything about the update to the Borealis Estoril update. I'm supposed to be getting another Borealis. I've reviewed one Borealis a little while ago. I'm getting another one in for the channel. It's part of a watch tour from Random Rob. That should be in tomorrow or the next day. It's coming from Arizona. So look for a video on that. It's not the Estoril or Estoril. Estoril, we'll go with that. And but no, I'll take a look. If I find out anything, Alpha Dad, I'll let you know at the next chat. But I have not heard anything about that. If anyone else has heard in the chat about any updates to the Estoril, please post it up. That might help my buddy here out. Ballard's here. How you doing? Behave yourself, my friend. And have you heard anything from Chess lately? He was pretty upset yesterday. I was wondering if anything had changed with respect to his Facebook situation. It felt pretty bad for him. He was very, very, very upset. I would say almost homicidal last night. So I hope things have gotten a little better. Cowboy, my thoughts on the Daytona not having a symmetrical lug. My father has owned a couple of Daytonas. He currently still owns one Daytona. It's a really nice one. Obviously, he won't let me near it right now because he knows I probably won't give it back to him. No, I would give it back to him. But I think it is a gorgeous watch. The asymmetrical lugs don't bother me at all. I think the Daytona is one of the best looking watches and ever made. It's certainly a classic at this point, and I would love to own a Daytona myself, and I hope to someday. I would probably go with the very classical black watch face in the steel case. I think that's a beautiful look, and I think it's a gorgeous watch. So the asymmetrical lug design doesn't bother me. Blue Shirt says he's wearing his 300T Caribbean. Yeah, I love my Caribbean GMT. I think that's a beautiful. I don't know why I didn't wear it today. It was kind of staring at me, but I put on my my Zelos Hammerhead 2 chronograph. Nice thick watch. You can see how thick that is. I love a big watch, so I love this watch. This thing is great and solid tool watch from Zelos. And of course, we all know I'm a Zelos fanatic. I own 25 of them currently, so I must really love them. Either that or, it's an illness. Jason says he's never seen a GMT Doxa before. Yeah, they were not produced in great numbers. I don't think they were very popular at the time, but I really liked the hints of orange. Gee, I wonder what orange and blue, why that strikes me so much. I'll think about that. It'll come to me eventually, Caters. Um, and I really like the look of the GMT, so I grabbed that because I could at the time, and I do not regret that at all. If I did end up selling that watch, it would be I have a figure in mind, and I wouldn't move off that figure. And it would take a lot of convincing for me to consider selling it, which I am not considering it. Yes, thank you, Alpha Dad. I appreciate that. I am going to keep the live streams coming. Certainly, I'm going to stay with the Wednesday noon. I'm thinking of incorporating either a Saturday night stream, or maybe I don't know. I don't want to do a stream where I'm stepping on my friends' toes like Ballard and Chess Hall, and certainly not Uncle Lou or BVD or Pigskin Pete. I don't want to step on their streams, mostly because nobody would come to mine, but also because pardon me, it's not the right thing to do. Stepping on a friend's stream time, but I'll figure it out. Okay, you haven't heard anything from Chess. I understand. Of course, I've heard of Tag Heuer. All watch enthusiasts have heard of Tag Heuer, and I've owned a Tag Heuer at one time. I owned what was it? It was a chronograph. It was a NASCAR-inspired chronograph because at the time, Tag Heuer was sponsoring Danica Patrick. It was a great watch. It really was. I got it at a good price. I wore the hell out of it for a while, and then I sold it to fund another project. So, or another purchase, I should say. So, yeah, I will probably grab another tag at some point, but that's not really on the main screen of the radar right now. But Tag makes a fantastic watch, and I have no problems recommending it to somebody else. Kevin Cook says he seemed okay. He meaning Chess Hall seemed okay after Carter's stream, so that's good. Yes, orange and blue are harmonic colors, Jason. Unless, of course, you're a Georgia Bulldog fan or a Florida State fan or one of them Hurricane fans. They don't like orange and blue particularly, but I do. I think it's fan, and blue has been my favorite color forever. So, yeah, I agree. Orange was done by Doxa primarily for underwater legibility, and I have one of the orange professionals. I think it's a 1200T. It was one that was released in conjunction with the movie Sahara, which was based on a novel written by my favorite author Clive Cussler. I've read all his books, and as people who are Cussler fans know, his main character Dirk Pitt wore a Doxa 300T and it was mentioned in almost every book. That's how I found out about Doxa way back when in the 80s when I started reading his books. And then when I was able to find a picture of a Doxa diver, I said, damn, that's nice. I got to own one of those. And in 2006, after my divorce, to make myself feel better, I bought one for myself because I felt like, damn it, I've just been through a year and a half of hell. I deserve it. So I bought it. And I love that watch. It's also the oldest good watch that I own, right? In terms of length of ownership. I own watches that are older than it chronologically, but in terms of length of ownership, that watch dating from 2006 is the longest I've owned one particular watch. And again, two doxes that I still have out of my former collection of 9. Those are the 2 that I will not sell. Not unless a disaster happens. And I hope that doesn't happen. Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, as they say. Blue Shirt saying his Caribbean is just a 3-hander. Still, the Caribbean blue is gorgeous. I mean, don't feel bad because it ain't a GMT. Ballard, I guess he's still talking about the Tag Heuer. They are awesome and they are expensive watches. They're not very well. I suppose it's a matter of perspective. I mean, I used to think that $1,000 was very expensive for a watch, but as I've been collecting and everything, I realize $1,000 is probably the top end of the entry level now because, I mean, you just learn more and buy more and you learn what costs what. And, $1,000 watch is not terribly expensive considering you could get a lifetime of wear out of them as long as you maintain them. $1,000 investment amortized over, your lifetime could end up costing you like, pennies on the dollar per day. It's perspective, really. Yeah, the Blue Shirt saying he loves the contrast of the orange minute hand against the blue dial. Exactly. Rob F. Didn't see you in there earlier, sir. I'm sorry I missed you there. He says he's planning a fall vacation, wanted to go international, but don't know if that's the best with all the Wuhan Red Death restrictions. Yeah, I understand. I'd rather stay stateside anyway. At least I understand the language. Wilkie's here, and he's asking, why was Chess upset? Short version, Wilkie, is Chess lost his Facebook account. It was either hacked or Facebook deleted it. We're not sure which right now. We were initially believing it was hacked by either Camel Toe or Steel 58. That's what he thought anyway. And he sent emails to Facebook to find out if he could recover the goofing around with it. And he has a lot of pictures up there, including pictures of his late father, which are very precious to him. And I can understand that absolutely. So he is very, very upset right now, but it may turn out that he lost the channel because he was violating Facebook guidelines. So that kind of was where it was left off yesterday for me. That was the last I heard about it. So I don't know what's going on subsequent to that. I was just asking folks if they had heard from Chess and found out if there's any new news. Mike, what do I think of Captain Willard? It's a nice watch. It's not something that I'm going to buy. It's not something for me really. But it is a fantastic watch. I think Rob was very high on the watch, but I look at it and I just go, it's not for me. Ballard said message retracted, which is normal for Ballard. Let's see. Uncle Lou's here. One of my few mods. How you doing? Why are you saying no, Lou? Say yes one time. Come on, Lou. Say yes. Yeah, I know Steel 58 is trash. That's about all I know about him, of him. I don't really know much about him other than what people have told me. And basically they tell me he's trash. So, Lou, aren't you supposed to be working on your studio right now? Shouldn't you be getting that set up? You should be a very happy camper right now playing around with all that stuff and a lunch break. Okay. Well, yeah, of course. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Rob F. No, I've never been to San Antonio or Austin. The only place in Texas I've ever been is Houston once. And I've been to Dallas Fort Worth 5 times when I was working for IBM because I was a regional office and I did training there. I was the trainer. I went there to train people, and I was what was called a T3, teach the teacher. So I went there and I taught the teachers at Dallas Fort Worth, and then they would go out and teach other people what I taught them. So I didn't get to see much of Dallas Fort Worth. I did get to go to a Stars game a couple of times, but no, I haven't done Texas, a lot of Texas, except for Houston and Dallas Fort Worth. Kevin Cook says blue is his favorite color, but more of a navy blue, and he hates orange. Well, of course you hate orange, Kevin. You're a bulldog. You're supposed to hate orange. It's pathological. And Lou says he's moving his computer now. Well, today's the good day to do it, right, Lou? You don't have any shows today. So hopefully you get it set up and everything works so you can do your morning show and we can be there like we're supposed to, you know? But if you need, I know you don't, but if you need me to sub in for you and work with BVD, something goes wrong, you need me to sub in, you have but to ask, sir. And no, I don't want any of the super chat money. But I'm sure you'll get it all handled and you don't need me, so I'm not worried about it. And Jason says, yeah, you heard of that with Sahara. Yeah. I actually was able to get the tube, the Doxa watch tube. I actually got it autographed by Clive Kessler. So I have that going for me. Unfortunately, he passed this year. So I'm really going to miss his work. But he gave me decades of entertainment, and I'm always grateful. Yeah, I was planning to, Lou. Is that that's at 10 o'clock, right? I'm going to be watching the Pigskin Pete show at 10, definitely. Let's see. Yeah, 10 p.m. Okay, thank you. Yeah. I actually got it written down right here. Something I want to pay attention to. Let's see. No, Jason, doxes don't remind me of novels and divorce. They remind me of the novels, certainly, but no, they don't remind me of divorce. They remind me of a great watch, and gives me a good feeling knowing that I guess it does remind me that I was able to survive the divorce because I bought the watch as a present to myself for surviving the divorce. So I guess, yeah, in a way it does. But it reminds me of my ability to overcome and live through adversity. So I guess that's a better way of looking at it. Let's see. Jason says Facebook thing is crappy. Reminds me again of the YouTube bug of them currently flagging all my video. I've been getting a lot of all my live streams lately. The past 5 live streams were partially flagged. I mean, you know how if you have revenue, you monetize your video, it has a little green thing in the video listing that says it's monetized, and they can either be yellow for limited or red for demonetized. All of mine have immediately gone yellow, and I have to click the thing and ask for a manual review, and then maybe an hour or so later, they're monetized. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, Wilkie, the violation of Facebook puts you in restriction, but for some reason, I think he didn't read the email verbatim. So, but I got the feeling that the channel was deleted. So, I think Lou has a little more experience with this than me. But the way Chess was reading it and read back to us or told us, the channel had been deleted, which means that everything is gone. So I don't know. Let's see, where am I? I already went through some of this stuff. Uh, yeah, Kevin, Lou is definitely ready for being in an AC studio instead of a sweatbox garage. You know, I'm not saying Lou is old because I got 15 years on him easy. I think 15, maybe 13. But I can tell you that as you cross 40 and you start getting older, your tolerance for heat goes down. I mean, I'll give you an example. I used to love going to cruise ins and car shows 12 months. I can do that 12 months out of the year here in Florida. The humidity didn't bother me. The sun didn't bother me. Nothing bothered me. But as I got past my upper 40s and into my 50s, my tolerance for sitting in a parking lot, sweating my ass off, got lower and lower. And now it's to the point where I literally don't go to car shows or cruise ins in the summer months, unless they're certain special shows, um, because I just don't want to sit in a parking lot and pour sweat for 4, 5, 6 hours. I just can't do it anymore. I don't have that level of tolerance anymore. So I understand. I understand Lou wanting to get out of that situation. Yeah, Lou, what I have is I wish I could pick it up, but it's covered with junk right now. I have one of those desktop blotter calendars. My wife, now ex-wife, got me into this years and years ago, because I was forgetting things, and she became a little upset about some of the things I forgot. So she bought me one of these desktop blotter calendars, and I write everything on the calendar, whether it's when I'm having a video release or when I'm guest hosting on one of your shows, or when I have a bill to pay or whatever. Um, and we have a troll. Goodbye. 20 odd years. Write everything down on these blotters. And then people laugh at me because I have one of these and they have a planner in them. Why don't you use that? I said, because I'm used to this and I can deal with this better. So yeah. No, that's the way it is, really. Let's see. Rob F says, would you prefer a UGA UF home and home, then back to Jacksonville, or keep all the games in Jacksonville? Um, I don't know if I'm in the minority or the majority on this one, but I like the game being played in Jacksonville. Now, do I see an advantage of playing home and home? Yeah, I do, because I think it would be harder for the visiting team to win a game. Um, I have yet to have the privilege of going to Sanford Stadium, but I understand it's a fantastic environment for football, and it's a tough place to win. Now I know that I've been to the Swamp literally 100 times. I mean, I never missed a home game all the years I went to college, and then after college, I went to as many as I could. I think I must have gone to about 100 odd games. And I know the Swamp is an incredibly tough place to play. In addition to crazy fans, the heat. I mean, Georgia is warm, to be sure. I lived in Georgia for 10 years in Atlanta. I know it gets hot in Atlanta. I know it gets hot in Athens. But there is something real hot and special about Gainesville, Florida. It can go triple digits real quick, and that afternoon sun just beats the ever loving crap out of out of the out of that stadium. And there's no guessing as to which side of the stadium the Gator side is versus the visiting team side. The visiting team gets the side that gets the most sun. Trust me on that. So I think a home and home would definitely make the games more interesting with respect to, I think it would be harder for the visiting team to win. But I still like the games being played in Jacksonville. I like the atmosphere of the River Walk and the surrounding parts of the game and the game itself with an equally divided stadium. So I think I'd like to keep it in Jacksonville. But if they went to a home and home, I can live with that. What am I drinking? I am drinking water. I prefer this brand, Callaway Blue. Um, it tastes good. You know, water does have taste, I believe. And I buy it at my local Publix. It's good water. That's what I drink. I drink. I try and stay very hydrated because I am prone to kidney stones. Man, I'm just friggin' falling apart, man. If I were a horse, somebody probably would have taken me back behind a barn and shot me by now. But yeah, I'm prone to kidney stones, so I stay as hydrated as possible because there's one thing that I do not ever want to repeat in my life, ever, 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 is a kidney stone. That is a horrible, horrible pain. Never heard of Callaway Blue. I've never seen it anywhere but Publix. And if you don't have Publix where you live, you may not have seen it, but it's good stuff. It's not quite as expensive as Fiji or one of those other more exotic ones, but it's not as cheap as, say, Dasani. Let me look at that here. Yeah. Callaway Blue Spring Water, Hamilton, Georgia. 706 area code. So it's somewhere around where Lou lives, and I guess where Rob F lives. Pine Mountain. I've heard of Pine Mountain. My car club used to go to Pine Mountain a lot. Good driving country up there. Like Chess's Facebook has been deleted. That's a shame because once they get deleted, they're gone. I mean, that page is gone forever and all the content is gone. So I hope that's not the case. Let's see. Brody L, how confident are you about the college football season happening? Confidence remains pretty good. I would say, well, we still have a month from today before the first kickoff is. And that's still a month for a myriad of things to go wrong. I mean, right now, if the reports are to be believed, I mean, Vanderbilt is talking about just bailing on the season. And, well, quite honestly, if Vanderbilt never showed up to another football game, would anybody really notice? I don't think so. I think if Vandy pulls that crap, everybody on Vandy's schedule gets an automatic win as a forfeit on Vandy's part, and let them be listed officially for 2020 as 0-10. Excuse me, I have an itch. But I think we got about a 75% chance of getting the season going on September 26th. Here's the problem that I have in my mind. I have two problems in my mind. The one problem is between today, August 26th, and September 26th, you've got 4 weeks of people, sitting back in their boardrooms and watching COVID-19 infection rates, tick up and all that, and getting more and more nervous I think as we get closer to the date of the actual beginning of the season, within the 10 days from, say, mid-September to the end of September, that's the key for me. In my mind, that's the key. That's the point where it's nut-cutting time. It's time to make the decision. Do we bail or do we go? And I have a feeling as we get closer to September 26th, people are going to, in the boardrooms, are going to get more and more nervous, and that's when the likelihood of a bailout is gonna happen. That's where it will be at its peak in my mind. Now, if we get to start the season, ending the season, oh baby, I think you're looking at maybe at best 50-50, maybe closer to 30% chance we finish the season, because once you get those kids banging and beating on each other, and you can't social distance, and you can't wear masks, and you can't do anything, and if the infection rates start going up and we start having players drop, I mean, the likelihood that these players are going to recover is extremely high. But still, when they get infected, they have to get out of the game. They can't play for 2 weeks. So that presents its own problems. Are you going to run out of bodies? I mean, once you get down to the practice squad, you're in big trouble. So 75% chance we start the season, 25-30% chance we get all the way through the season. That's my snapshot in time outlook on September 26th. August 26th, sorry. So I hope that answers your question. Kevin Cook, I had a kidney stone and it hurt like a mother, and doctor said drink lemon juice or lemonade. Yeah, anything that can help, basically anything that acts like a diuretic. You can just pound water for all it matters. I remember I actually got a kidney stone at a car show. It wasn't a bad one, but I couldn't really move. I wasn't puking or passing out like some of them made me do, but I was in a lot of trouble, and I no way I could have driven home. So luckily the car show was at a Hooters, and I just had my friends keep bringing me iced tea, because tea is a diuretic. And I just kept pounding iced teas for about 3 hours, and it literally finally passed at the show, and I felt good enough to drive home, which was fluid when you have a kidney stone is good, but some are better than others. So yeah, kidney. My first kidney stone, ironically, I had to take an ambulance to a hospital because I was at work and they require that you do an ambulance. So both ambulance attendants, both nurses that worked on me, and the doctor that worked on me, all women, all had given birth, and all had kidney stones. And they all said passing a kidney stone is the same pain as giving birth. Now, I don't know if that's absolutely true or not. I don't want to insult women that have given birth and say, oh, there's nothing like that pain or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I can tell you something, kidney stones ain't no damn joke. Wilkie says, my guests on Lou News with Pigskin Pete is they will be doing a weekly show together. Your guess is a weekday afternoon show. That could be. That's a good guess. That makes sense. Rob F. says he's been in Florida now for years. Whereabouts, sir? Just give me a region. You don't have to give me an exact location. Jason said, during my research, I found someone complaining about Doxa bezels being wiggly. No, I have not experienced Doxa bezels being wiggly. But you know what? It's a mechanical device, and every once in a while you get a bad spring. So what I would have done at that point is contacted Doxa. Usually you buy these things direct from Doxa. I would have contacted them and said, hey, you sold me a watch with a bad spring. I want you to send it. I want to send it back and have you fix it under warranty. Wiggly meaning moving up and down slightly, not back play. Same thing. I mean, I've not experienced that. The bezels on all the Doxas I've ever owned have been very tight and very mechanically functional. But if that's a problem that they got with their Doxa, send it back. If it's a brand new one, it should be fixed under warranty or replaced outright. Doxa has pretty good customer service once you get a hold of them. So that's what I would do. But hell, I've had Seikos with wiggly bezels. I had one watch where the bezel, while I was turning it, the damn thing came off in my hand. I contacted the place I bought it from, and they said, we'll send you a new one. A week later, it showed up along with a shipping label to send the old one back. That's fine. Usually these places will deal with it. Complaining about something doesn't help. Deal with the problem. TK. Thank you, TK. I love the fact that you're here. Thank you for coming by and supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Come on, guys. We only got 8 thumbs ups out there. Give me some more thumbs ups, please. Please click the like button. Give me that thumbs up. I appreciate it. I got 17 people in here. That's some sort of record. I need more thumbs ups, please. Also, the super chat's available, and down in the description, there's a link to my PayPal if you feel the desire to support the channel monetarily, which you don't have to do, but always nice if you do. Oh, there we go. Just jumped up to 13. Appreciate that. Let's see where we Watch Lounge. My buddy Chris is here, finishing up a unboxing vid on a talker. I need to get my hands on a talker, especially since I just saw a live stream 2 days ago with my buddy Ivan from Iconic Watches. I did a video review of their prototype of the Halocline, which should be releasing any day now. And he had the founder of Talker on there, what's her name? Sophie. And she is just not, in addition to being absolutely drop dead gorgeous lady, she knows her watches like nobody else. I mean, this is a watch smart lady. And I really need to get my hands on a talker just to play with, because those things look like fantastic watches. Get a hold of Ross. Okay, well, she's going to make an appearance on your channel. Let me know when, Chris. I want to watch that video. I want to see that. LaMichael's here. How you doing, man? Do I watch Florida games alone? Do you have a certain group of friends? Both. I usually watch at my house, but I have a lot of Gator alum friends that live around me, and sometimes we'll set up viewing parties. And every year when the Florida State game was, we all gathered at this one Florida State family's house. It would be like half criminals and half Gators, and we watch. But mostly I watch games on my own. It depends. Floridians here. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, you passed the kidney stone too, and it was not fun. Yeah, that's an understatement. Passing a kidney stone is the. I once had a kidney stone that lasted for 10 days. No joke. 10 days that thing hung around. And I was supposed to take my older daughter up to Gainesville for her University of Florida move-in. She was moving in to start school. And I still had that thing the day before we were supposed to go up there. And literally 2:30 in the morning of the day we were going to leave to take her up to Gainesville, it passed. And it didn't pass quietly, but it passed. And I was so happy that I was not going to be doing that drive and all that moving in with a broken ankle and a kidney stone. I just had to deal with the broken ankle. I actually didn't do much moving in because I was on 0 weight bearing still with the ankle. But yeah, it passed, but it took 10 days. What a horror show. Yeah, Kevin, it is worse. But it is on the level of giving birth, according to, well, TK's a nurse. She could probably address that. Well, she's not she's a neonatal nurse, but maybe she's had experience with kidney stones. I hope not. Yeah, Wilkie says when my roommate got kidney stones and couldn't do anything, I'd help get them dressed and do daily. Yeah, a kidney stone, which can sometimes be no bigger than the little round thing they put on pins. I mean, real tiny little things. They will cripple you. I mean, the pain and the dizziness that goes along with it. You can't do a thing. Jason said, "Yeah, it's probably a bad spring." Talking about the Doxa with the bezel problem. Yeah, it is probably a bad spring. That's a simple repair. I mean, hell, he could bring it to a watchmaker local to him and have him do it, or he could send it back to Doxa if he really wanted to. I would take it to a local watch guy and just put a spring in it, or maybe adjust the one that's already in it. I mean, it's not rocket science to deal with a bezel spring. I mean, hell, if I could take a bezel off of a Seiko and clean the spring area and put it back on and put it all back together and it works, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Let's see. Yeah, maybe Ross could. You think Ross would let you send the talker to me after you're done with it, or does it have to go back to Ross? Just asking. It doesn't, wouldn't offend me either way. Uh, Wilkie says he needs to watch West Virginia games alone so I can yell and cry in peace. Yeah, especially with Felipe Franks playing quarterback for the Gators, I needed a lot of privacy so I could yell at the TV and tell him what kind of piece of garbage he was. So, and I mostly had to do that in peace. Rob F says U2 original Ascension. David Blaine flies miles away holding balloons all the way up to 30,000 feet live August 29th. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for that. That might be interesting. Sports expert is here. How you doing, sir? TK says yourself lucky. I hope you never have. I only would wish a kidney stone on my sister. That's about it. I wouldn't even wish a kidney stone on my worst enemy except my sister, who I don't like. And I don't care that everyone knows that I don't like her. Doing all right. Okay. Private's here. How you doing, man? He's asking somebody else a question, but welcome to the stream, Private. Yeah, autocorrect can be a bitch, can it? Okay, well, if it has to go back to Ross, Chris, no worries. But if he'd let you send it to me, I'd be more than happy to send it back to him after I get to see it. But if he wants it to go back to him directly from you, that won't offend me. Private says he has huge respect and admiration for NICU doctors and nurses since they helped one of my kids for 7 full weeks grow to perfection. NICU personnel are doing God's work, in my opinion. They are, in the medical profession, they're all heroes, but there are some that are more heroic than others, to be honest. NICU doctors and nurses are right up there at the top 1 or 2. They see some of the saddest stuff that you can ever see, and they perform miracles every day. So I have great admiration for TK and all the ladies and gentlemen like her. Why is my sister so bad? TK, you don't have enough hours in the day for me to describe that. Let's just leave it at the short version. She has pretty much gone full shade and full hatred on all the rest of the family. She has offended my parents to the point where they don't speak anymore. She's mistreated my parents verbally and otherwise. The things she's done to me, I'm not even going to go into, but let's start with she's tried to turn my own children against me. She failed, of course, but she made many efforts to do so. and she's a communist. So that's good enough right there. The details don't matter to anyone outside my family, but the amount of shade and hatred she's piled on to people who have done nothing to her except exist um, is reprehensible. I don't throw the word hate around very easily. In fact, there's really only two people in my life that I've ever truly hated. And one of them I don't hate anymore. I just don't like them. But I hate my sister. And I don't see that ever changing. And I don't care if she finds out. So there we go. Onwards and upwards. Kevin Cook, I'm not going to get into that. Suffice it to say that the offenses are large enough that if I never see her again, I will live the rest of my life quite contently. The next time I probably see her will probably be when one of my daughters gets married, because she'll be invited, and if she has the balls to show up, I'll just deal with it. I don't think she'll show up, but she'll be invited because they're her aunt, or she's their aunt. But I don't think she has the balls to show up. I don't think Bob has moved into the garage yet, LaMichael, because I think Lou is still in there. Let's see. Oh, it's on the 31st, not the 29th. Okay. Yeah, it's all right, TK. My sister and I have never really been close. We never really liked each other. Even when we were kids, we didn't like each other. We didn't get along. It got worse as we got older. There have been some times of peace and civility, but those were. If you saw some of the emails that I saw that she wrote about me to my parents, I know you don't know me that well, TK, but you know me good enough that I think you have enough respect for me that you would be so offended by those emails that you would fly up there and beat the snot out of her for me. I'll leave it at that. Yes, Big Wrist, hate is a strong word. That's why I only reserve it for one person on this earth. Literally, one person on this earth is worth my hate. No other person in this earth that's ever done me wrong, I hate. I just dislike them. I've cut them out of my life, but I don't hate them anymore. But that girl is the one, and probably ever be the only one, because I typically am not a hateful person. I can be a nasty sumbitch, but I'm not a hateful sumbitch. But my sister gets hate. Yeah, Kevin, she knows. I don't know that she knows. She doesn't know from me, but she knows from other people that we mutually contact. So she knows my feelings, and I don't care. She lives from where I am to where she is about 2,000 miles. So, she's not an immediate threat to me. And she probably never will be, because she doesn't like the state of Florida. She doesn't like the weather here. She doesn't like the people here. She doesn't like the fact that it's run by Republicans. So the weather alone will keep her away from me. So good reason to stay in Florida. LaMichael, don't worry about it, man. I appreciate the thoughts and the sympathy, but we were never close. So not having a relationship with my sister is like me not having a relationship with a complete stranger. We share a last name and we share DNA. That's it. We have absolutely nothing in common. Never had. So she would, I mean, I'm closer to, I'm closer to people who live around me and who I'm friends with than I ever was with my sister. Hell, I have a better relationship with my ex-wife than I have with my sister. And that's not saying a lot, but it says something. Let's see, where are we? Atypical Gump is here. I didn't see you come in. I'm sorry. How you doing? He says, back to the Vandy leaving the SEC and not being missed. Most years BVD likes them being around. Good point. Yeah. Well, we all like having Vandy around because it's almost always a guaranteed win. Unless, of course, your school is being coached by an idiot and you lose to them at home for the first time since 1945, which would be the Gators, and that would be Moose Dump. But absent that, yeah, I don't think anyone would notice if Vandy just quietly folded its tent and left. As I told on other channels before, I've been to 2 Vanderbilt games at Vanderbilt in the Nashville Stadium. One time was in the 90s, and I was there with the Atlanta Gator Club. We all, took a couple of chartered buses up there. And the other time, I was actually across the street from the stadium at my very good friend's wedding reception, and the game was being played, and I snuck out of the reception, and I actually bought a ticket right there and went to the game in a suit. I was in a suit and tie at the game, surrounded by people in orange and blue. They thought I was nuts, but I was there. It was 2006. That was our national championship year with Chris Leak playing. And I swear to you, on the stadium than Vanderbilt fans. It's amazing to go to a visiting stadium and seeing more orange and blue than black and gold, or whatever the other team's colors are. So Vandy leaving the SEC, or Vandy just folding their program up and saying, whatever, we're a baseball school, nobody would notice. Nobody. Think about it. Who in Uncle Lou or BVD stream would know if Vanderbilt left or not? Nobody. Nobody would. Well, one guy, that guy Vandy Dandy, he'd care. Other than that, nobody would care. Woo right back at you, Bart. TK says I'm a nice guy. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know why that thing didn't go automatically. Big risk. You've got only 2 living siblings or children. I'm guessing siblings. Kevin Cook says, okay, 2,000 miles away is good. What state does she live? She lives in Maine. Oh, people you hate. Okay, thanks for clearing that up, Big Wrist. Yeah, she lives in Maine. Maine is perfect for her. It's below 0 like 9 months out of the year. I'm kidding, of course. She's happy up there in Maine, according to all reports that I care to listen to. And if she's happy up in Maine, that's fine. That means she's not unhappy in Florida, which is where I am, very happy in Florida. And I'm glad she's up there, and up there she'll stay. Tiger Cat says, we were supposed to play Vandy as one of our extra games. I think we is LSU. That's right. What do you think will happen with that? I think because it's so late in the game per se, I think we have to play Vandy too. So I think that all the teams if Vandy bails on the season, I think all those games will go. They'll either go listed as a win for the other team. It's a forfeit. Or they'll just eliminate the game from the schedule, and anyone who wasn't playing Vandy will eliminate one game from the schedule and we'll go to 9 games, which is probably unlikely. Or I guess if they can work it out quickly enough, I guess I guess they'll put another team in there. I guess, but I would just rather they just go with the forfeit and don't complicate. It would be good if there were complicate. It would be good if there were a forfeit. That way, every team that plays Vandy gets another bye week, and that's time to heal up. And if there's COVID going around the team, they get a little time to, wait for the test to come back negative. And excuse me. So I think it's going to go down as a forfeit. I'm going to go with that. Lou would probably say I'm wrong, but I'll go with forfeit. Let's see. Got 17 thumbs up. That's good. I got 16 people in here. That's really good. I appreciate all the thumbs up. If you haven't already clicked the thumbs up, please do that for me. It does help me out. And I'll just quickly mention that the super chat function is available if you are of a mind to contribute to the support of the channel. And also down in the description, there is a PayPal link if you want to go the PayPal route. And you don't have to, of course, but if you want to support the channel a little bit, that's fine. That way I can buy more good equipment like this microphone that everyone says makes me sound better. Let's see. Andrew, the textbook is here. I'm sorry I didn't get to you before now. Vandy is a group of 5 school in a Power 5 conference. That is exactly right. How can you be going to school at UGA and be a Vandy fan? That's embarrassing and distressing. How is that possible? Sorry, Lou. I didn't mean to steal that from you, but what? One time, just one time. I'll pay a copy. Let's see. Space Mountain says never been to Maine. First of all, welcome, Space. I didn't see come in there. I've never been to Maine either, so I understand it's beautiful up there, but it's cold. I don't like cold. Chris says he's going to be in Titusville next week. That's pretty far away from me. Titusville's East Coast. That's about 3 hours or so from me, but Titusville's a nice place. I hope you enjoy it. You're going to be at the beach. Private says our whole family used to go back to the NICU every year with cupcakes or cookies to celebrate her birthday and express the gratitude to the staff. That's nice. That's nice. I wish more people would do that. I wish more people would be appreciative of the people that help them and their families. But that's nice. Space Mountain said, let's pick up FSU. I would like to still be able to play FSU this year because I love nothing more than rolling into that dump they call a stadium and embarrassing them. And I certainly think we would do it this year again, but I don't think the ACC is going to go for that. Space Mountain would go with the forfeit of Vandy. Yeah, I think why not? Let's see. Chris says best friend and his wife just moved there visiting them. Her parents live in Tampa. Okay, well, Titusville is like here, and Tampa's like here. Something like that. But you have to cross the entire state to go from Titusville to Tampa. That's I-4, which is a horrible highway, by the way, especially going through Orlando. Terrible. Let's see. Ballard says he's back. Okay, welcome back. And the Iron Bowl isn't canceled. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I-4 always sucks. But at least they repaved good chunks of it, so it's not too bad. The main problem with I-4 is going through Orlando. I remember once having to take my Saleen up to Orlando to go to a tuner that lives there. His name is Justin. He is fantastic with tuning Mustangs, making them more, especially any of them that came with superchargers like the GT 500s and the Terminators. He gets monster amounts of power out of him. He's really good at what he does. He's arrogant as hell, but he deserves to be. If you're that damn good, you can be that damn arrogant. But he lived on the north side of Metro Orlando, and I had to drive through there in a very stiff suspension car, and that is horrible road conditions. And by the time I got through downtown Tampa, my back hurt so badly I could barely move. That's just a horrible road. It really is. South of, or I should say, west of Orlando and east of Orlando, it's not so bad. But man, I hope they're doing something about that I-4 through Orlando. It's bad. Private, you're going for some swordfish tomorrow, huh? Which ones are you looking at? I think the titanium swordfish is going to be a really good seller. I'm not buying tomorrow. I am going to get one of the Damascus swordfish, but they're coming out in the middle of September, according to Elshin, somewhere first or second week of September, probably the second week. But I'm going after the Damascus. And I think my father's going to get one too. So looking forward to when those release. I love the Zelos Damascus watches. I only have one. I'd like to pick up one of the other ones at some point, like the Hammerhead. But those things rarely come up for sale. So just got to hope I get lucky one day. But which ones are you going to grab, Private? Which colorway? I bet you're going to get a meteorite. As I'm going to miss the rivalry games. They should have just rearranged the schedules to have each team's biggest conference rivals. Yeah, I agree. Clemson, South Carolina. I mean, who cares? South Carolina was going to get boat raced anyway. I personally am going to miss the Florida State game because I love beating the snot out of one of our rivals. But the conferences are going to conference-only schedules, so those rivalries have to go away for a year. We'll see them next year. Yes, Chris, go Clemson. Yeah. You and your purple. You're lucky you guys didn't join the SEC like you should have. Private says Whirlpool blue with the cobalt insert and the forged carbon. I wouldn't have guessed you were going to do the forged carbon. But then again, Chris says he's tempted to go to the Notre Dame game. You should. I mean, Notre Dame actually having to play in the conference for a year is rare. So take the opportunity and go see a former legendary team that hasn't been relevant since the days of Rudy, except for 1 year. I'll give him the 1 year. And maybe you'll run into Manti Te'o's fake girlfriend. You never know. Kevin Cook says, not really going to miss the Georgia Tech game since they're no. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I've heard that the Notre Dame campus is beautiful, Chris. I've also heard that the stadium is a dump, but maybe they improved it. I don't know. But I've heard the campus is beautiful. It's cold up there, depending on the time of year. But I don't know. I've heard the stadium's in really bad shape. So take that. I don't know when they were. I've heard from 3 different people that the stadium is really bad, but I don't remember them saying what year they were there. So maybe they rebuilt the stadium. Space Mountain agrees about the Notre Dame. Thank you. Any news on college game day? I don't think they're going to do college game day on the campuses this year. Honestly, I don't pay much attention to the four-letter network anymore. They've gone a little bit too radical left for my taste, and I choose not to give them any watches until college football, just because I don't want to hear the talking head idiots that are on the screen. I think it's almost certainly going to be a studio only show with lots of social distancing. And I don't know what Corso is going to do without having to play to the crowd. He might go insane for all I know. And quite frankly, I don't watch game day very much either. I don't like Herb Street. I think he's an idiot. And he has a definite anti-SEC bias, which I can't deal with. Corso's funny. The main talking head, whatever his name is, he's all right. And that former Michigan player, what's his face? I could take him or leave him, but overall with college game day, it just I'll probably watch Lou stream it this year. But Reese Davis and Desmond Howard. Thank you. Davis is good. Howard is passable. Corso is funny if he's on his meds. And Herb Street, I just want to reach through my TV screen and strangle him. So I don't have much use for college game day, so I really don't care. I think they're going to do studio. Because if they're not going to let fans tailgate at these games, which everyone has announced that they're not going to let them do, then why would they let them gather in front of the college game day set? So I think college game day is just going to be a studio show this year. Space Mountain says, dang, I didn't even think about game day, but I like SEC. Yeah, the SEC network game day. I only really care about the SEC anyway, so I will watch the game day, the SEC game day, and I think obviously Tebow knows his shit. Mark, what's the other guy's name? Marcus, he knows, and I like Feinbaum in small doses. So I like the SEC game day because I care about the SEC. I don't care about the Pac-12. I don't care about the ACC. No offense, Chris. I don't care about the small 12 and the small 10. I care about the SEC. So I'll watch that one. And that'll probably be a stadium show, a studio show as well. Thanks, pal. I appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah, I agree, Lee. The signs during game day were the best part of the show for me. I always tuned in just to see if somebody brought the Washington State Cougar flag, and then after that, I don't, because I think there's like a streak of like 10 billion shows where there was always a Cougar flag in the background or something like that. Let's see. Private says, I really wanted a Cobalt/Royal Blue dial, but I am sure I will get used to the Mako like Whirlpool Blue forged carbon. Looks beautiful. I had a forged carbon swordfish for a while, but I sold it. Bezel insert is matching forged carbon. Yeah, that should be a really good looking watch. I like my forged carbon. I just wasn't wearing it, and somebody made me an offer on it, and I sold it to him. And on campus without the crowd, that could probably happen too, TK. But I'm thinking they'll probably do a studio show. Maybe they'll pipe in cheering and screaming like they do at hockey games. I don't know. Let's see. Andrew, the textbook says, I remember hearing that they used to do it in the studio before they left to campuses, and of course they started the headgear. Yeah, I believe that college game day started as a studio show, and they'll probably go back to the roots. Wilkie, shut up. You're wrong. Let's see. Andrew Textbook said Feinbaum is a good interviewer, but his show on SEC Network is boring. I agree. That's why I don't watch it. Let's see. Andrew the Textbook says Old Crimson. Huh? Oh, the flag. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's been there for over 200 shows. I think it's been there for longer than that. Big Lee says they mail that flag everywhere for alumni to fly. Yeah, that's probably true. Private says I love how you flow and switch topics so easy. Yeah, well, I like doing these live streams where I just respond to what's in the chat. I mean, that's easy on me because I don't have to think so much, I guess. But just whatever somebody says, I'll respond to it. Just like, except for Wilkie over there calling Tebow overrated now and back then. That's just, come on, man. I know you're a Georgia fan or something and you hate Florida and Florida bad and orange and blue man bad and all that, but come on, man. You're just pissy because he broke Walker's record, so come on, man. TK, I'm always willing to teach you about watches if you want to learn something or other about watches. I mean, I could give you 5 facts, 5 things in 10 minutes, less, and you would be able to walk in any watch store with confidence that you at least know enough that you wouldn't get taken for a ride. That's right, Wilkie. Your team is in the SEC. I forgot. I'm sorry. My bad. Chris Leak was not better than Tebow. All right. That's forget it. I mean, literally, I could tell you 5 things about watches that would make you confident enough to walk in any store short of a Rolex dealer and be able to buy a watch and take. Well, that's what happens, Kevin, when you get old, you forget things. Wasn't it West Virginia? It was West Virginia, wasn't it? West Virginia. Yeah, I think it was West Virginia. Anyway. But that's not important, the fact that I'm going senile. But yeah, I like the ability to move from topic to topic. Private says, I know nothing nor care about college football, not since I was in college. Okay, well, that's fair. You see, Private, a lot of the people that are subscribers to my channel are people who are watch people. They came from the watch world, and that's but a lot of people who subscribe to my channel, and it seems like the majority of people that do my live streams are people that I know from and were brought to my channel from a few other sports, college sports related channels like Uncle Lou, Big Vol Daddy or BVD, Pigskin Pete, a couple others that came to my channel because I'm in those channels' streams in most cases as a moderator. And they know me from there and they support my channel. And I'm grateful for that. Okay, Chris, I'll catch you later. Thanks for putting that video up on the talker. I'll look forward to watching that when I finish up here. And a lot of them came from those channels and they support me from there. And I'm grateful for the support. I'm grateful for any support, really. Yes, I need to take more meds. Yes, I'm sorry I said you can. Wilkie 451 equal WVU. There. Now it's written down. I'll have to write it down on the September calendar too, because this is the August calendar and August is about to run out. So now I'll remember. And I'll also write down that private doesn't like college football, which is cool. So, ooh, been on here for a while, haven't I? That's cool. Hey, well, what else you got out there? Anything? Let's see. Anybody been watching the hockey playoffs? If you're not a hockey fan and you want to get introduced to NHL hockey, the Stanley Cup playoffs is a great time to get introduced to the excitement that is professional hockey, because everything is turned up to 11. The intensity, the hitting, the shooting, everything is turned up to the maximum notch because they're all chasing the cup. And it, for me, being a lifelong hockey fan, I mean, I was born in Boston. I grew up watching hockey with my father and his father. We would watch hockey all day. And the Bruins were the team. I mean, they were great. And just, so this time of year for me is the special time of year for watching the playoff hockey. So if you're new to it, definitely you should check out the NHL right now. It's better with crowds, but even without crowds, it's still good, intense hockey being played. Unless, of course, you're a Boston Bruin fan like me, in which case you have crappy goaltending, which is going to eventually kill off your team in the playoffs when the Tampa Bay Lightning beats them, unfortunately. I like the Lightning. I live near Tampa, Florida, and I like to see the Lightning do well, except when it's at the expense of my beloved Bruins and the goaltending to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. They got to get past the Bruins first, but the Bruins don't have the team that they used to. Not when it comes to the guy between the pipes, anyway. When Wilkie says when Tebow was a freshman, he was no, he wasn't. This is fake news. But I realize that everybody hates Tebow because he's, a good guy and a Christian. Well, I'm not a Christian, but he's a good guy and a Christian, and he won 2 national titles and a Heisman and so on and so forth. And everyone loves to take down the top guy, take him down a few notches and whatever. I understand, Wokey. Virtual pat on the head, Wookie. I understand. It's okay. Go have a Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Go have a Snickers. Space Mountain wants to know, how do I think our offensive line will fare? They better damn well fare better than and Franks before him. But they couldn't run block to save their lives. So we need to get a running game going this year, or we are toast. And our defense is solid. We now know that all the receivers are practicing now. So all that shine about, all our top 3 receivers aren't going to play this year. Well, that's done. That's done. They're playing. So our receiver core is great. We have a solid quarterback. But if our offensive line doesn't run block this year and take some pressure off the passing game and allow our running backs to break into the second level, and damn it, we lost so many. We lost the Georgia game because we couldn't convert 3rd and shorts. We had to turn the ball over. We had to punt the ball away because we couldn't go 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1 even, or 4th and 1. And convert to a first down and keep the ball going. I guarantee we lost the Georgia game because of that, and we probably lost the LSU game because of that, and we might have lost a couple other games if we hadn't done well in other aspects of the game. We need the offensive line to grow up. We need our running game back. So, I think with a year under their belt working together, I think our offensive line will be better. But the proof is in the playing. Let's see what they do. If our offensive line doesn't step up and play better this year than they did last year, Georgia's going to win the East again. If we have an offensive line that can allow us to run the ball and control the ball, we have a good chance at winning the East this year. Kevin Cook, have you eaten lunch yet, or what are you playing? Are you asking me or somebody else? I had lunch before. Well, you call it early lunch. I had some leftover rigatoni with tomato sauce from last night. So that was good. My sauce gets better as you let it sit and meld the flavors a bit. Wookie says, I always wanted to watch hockey, but never really have. Give it a chance, man. Bruins are playing tonight, I think, at either 7 or 8. I'll be watching that. There's like 3 games on today. I think one's at 3 o'clock, and then there's another one at 8, and another one at like 10:30. So give it a chance. Give it a game a watch, and see what you think. Jason says Kevin's making me hungry. Okay, yeah, I understand. Kevin says he just ate leftovers, so did I. Jason says he's be leaving the office in 30 minutes. Might grab a Burger King. I like Burger King. I don't like their fries. Their fries haven't been good in a long time. But the burgers are still good. Cowboy Swami is, who are they playing? Who are they playing? I forgot. Well, let's see if they can get there. They certainly have a good enough team to get there. Let's see if they get there. I don't think my Bruins are getting there. I just don't think the I don't think the Bruins have the goaltending to get past the Lightning, even without Stamkos. So I think it might be the Flyers and the Lightning in the Eastern Conference Final. Wilkie says Tebow is an amazing person, not taking anything away from him. Well, thank you for that. Kevin said black beans and rice with andouille sausage is what you had. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds very good. Let's see. Jason said the thing about our COVID situation is that I leave the office early now. I use those extra hours saved to build my YouTube channel. And that is a great YouTube channel, by the way. I mean, you're getting better, and you are already damn good. I don't know how you do what you do, Jason. I really don't. But whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because the way you shoot videos is fantastic. Fantastic. And by the way, thank you again for the shout out in one of those videos. I didn't mean to. Obviously, I didn't mean for that little message to pop up in the middle of your video. I'm surprised you left it in, but I appreciate the shout out, sir. Most kind. Cowboy Swami says the gauge of steel used to manufacture watch cases is different, and no one talks about that. Why do you think? Why do you think the difference between the JSAR versus a sub? Well, a Submariner is Rolex, and Rolex makes their own steel. They have their own foundries. They make their own metal, whereas a JSAR is standard 316L stainless, which is plenty good enough. But the 914 stainless that Rolex uses is even more scratch resistant and tarnish resistant. So it really depends on look at it this way. Most of the entry level, mid-level, and upper mid-level are not going to be big enough to do their own casework or their own, in terms of melting their own steel and doing their own smelting and that kind of thing. Rolex is that damn big that they can do their own movements. They can do their own jewel work. They can do their own precious metal work. They can do their own steel work. They can make their own bracelets and straps, and even down to their own lubricants. And that's why the gauge is different, because they can control their metal work, whereas the other folks can't. So, and that's why their subs last longer than pretty much everything else. So that's the difference. Colby, how you doing, man? Thanks for showing up. Private says, here's a new topic. Tesla car or TSLA stock or both. My wife won't let me, quote unquote, get a Tesla because we don't need it. So my answer is the stock. What's my answer? Well, I'll answer the question by prefacing I am not a stockbroker. I am not an economics person. I'm not a financial planner or analyst. Given those caveats, I would say neither. I don't want a Tesla car because I don't particularly like them. I don't think they're particularly good for the environment, because even though they're an all-electric car, if you knew how batteries were made, you would understand that the making of batteries is not environmentally sound. The electricity that they use to charge their batteries still comes from electrical power plants, which for the most part burn fossil fuels. So you're not saving the planet that way. You can only go a couple hundred, maybe 300 miles if you stretch it before you have to recharge the battery, and battery recharges take hours, even with the rapid charge places. Whereas a gas car, you pull into a gas station, 5 minutes after you fill up, you take off. And usually gasoline-powered cars and diesel-powered cars can go further than 250 miles on a tank full of premium in 6th gear on the highway, and that car makes 525 horsepower at the wheels. So I wouldn't buy a Tesla. I wouldn't own a Tesla. And the fact that Tesla doesn't make money on selling their cars means that their stock, in my opinion, is not a good long-term buy. So, but for that, I would talk to your broker, but I wouldn't buy their stock either. So my answer for Tesla car or stock or both is neither. But that's just me. Jason said it was nice that my name popped up in the middle of his video. Makes the videos relatable when you popped up and unscripted. Yeah. Again, I do appreciate the shout out though. And 904 steel. Thank you for the correction, Jason. It's not 914 steel. It's 904 steel. Yeah, 904 steel on a Submariner or any other stainless steel Rolex is much tougher than 316L steel. So that's one big difference. And my JSAR is plenty tough. I have a JSAR Marathon, and it's holding up beautifully. But and so, like, say my Zelos here is holding up beautifully. But 904 is a next level strength. Space Mountain asks, how do you feel about Emory Jones? Yeah, I think definitely we need to get Emory Jones some more playing time. I think that will happen this year because next year the team will be his, and he needs some more time on the field. He needs to be playing with the first team, and he needs to be throwing to them. And we need to be using him as an option quarterback, like Tebow was an option quarterback. And that means the offensive line has to block and open up holes for him. So we need to get Emory Jones on the field some more. Let's see. Colby, you got to get back to work. Just stopped to say, hey, I appreciate that. Private says he likes my honest answer. Didn't expect anything less. I appreciate that. Oh, and that was my folks calling me on the phone. So I might have to wrap this up and get out of here because that might be a problem call. You never know. Kevin agrees with me. Definitely wouldn't buy Tesla stock. Emory Jones has been there. Has been there 2 years. This will be his third year. He's a junior. So I think I'm going to have to wrap this up, guys, because that was a phone call from my folks. And generally, they don't call me in the afternoons for, I always have to be mindful that with two parents that are senior citizens, the next phone call from them could be just, hello, can you do this for me or something? Or it could be a disaster. So I hope it's not a disaster. I don't think it is, but anyway, I want to wrap it up. Thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the thumbs up. I appreciate that too. If you're watching the video not live, please click the thumbs up button for me. It does help with the channel being more searchable. Comments, questions, suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. But if you're going to be a jackass and troll me or get nasty, I will delete the post and I will block you. I'm sure everything's okay, TK. I'm just, just kind of thinking out loud on that one. If you're new here or you've been here a while, you haven't done it, please click the subscribe button on your way out and click the bell icon so that when I upload new content or I go live, you are alerted to that. Everybody stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your fam. Of course, take care of each other. I will see you on my next live stream, or I will see you in someone else's live stream. Y'all have a good rest